Hello everyone, Brad Johnson here. In this video I'm going to be talking about the lessons in extremes. So as we know, and as I've talked about in a few videos past, 2015 has represented a very strong contracting year, as I have termed the year of integration. When we move into 2016, we look into more of an expansive year. We look into the year of illumination. Then we go back, and it just basically goes into certain levels of different expansion and contracting. So if we're looking into the idea of extremes, we've really reached a point in evolution where we have reached such a depth of perception relating to how we reflect ourselves out to the world. So when we're taking a look at extremes, what good are they? Why are we trying to go into these really heated, these really conflicting states of events that are happening on our planet and that seem like it's just an intense acceleration? Why the intensity? What's going on? Because we are, one, becoming more intelligent. We are evolving. We are growing. And we can see. When I say we can see, we are able to look deeper into the scope of an event to know if there is a falsehood, to know if there are discrepancies in that feeling. So again, our ability to see just comes through natural intuition. So, through the extremes is bred through our intelligence, our ability to evolve, our ability to grow, our ability to see, which reaches out to intuition. Extremes are all part of a real gift in disguise. And it's showing us that if we look into our own personal life, because we'll look into the collective life here in a moment, but when we look into our own personal life, and whoever the example may be, whether it be yourself or whether it be me, what have you, when we look into our personal life and we start to see that the events that we're attracting are leading us into more acceleration of this intense heat, just this extreme intense energy. That, I don't seem to be getting along with my boss anymore, I don't seem to be going along with my coworkers anymore. Sure, I'm getting paid very well, but I don't like going to work. I just feel like it's an uphill climb. It's such a struggle for me to continue to bear going to work every single day, but hey, I make good money. Now, what is that attempting to tell us in our own personal life? We're battling an extreme. And so, as long as we continue to battle the extreme is going to get hotter. It's like taking gasoline and pouring it onto a raging inferno. It's going to get more intense, more intense, more intense. Oh, I hate my job. I don't want to go there anymore. Well, but I have to do it because I'm making good money. I can pay the bills. I can pay my rent. I can pay my mortgage, etc. So I'm going to keep doing it. But again, it's all about looking at what the universe is attempting to tell you, because this is what we often don't grasp. Even for us that are on a spiritual journey, that are on a spiritual path, even us who consider ourselves to be quite intuitive, don't get it. When we have this aspect of our personal life and our events are telling us there's extremes, it's telling us that this event has reached its expiration date. If you are ever doing something that is not satisfying to you, that does not represent your own naturalness, that does not feel like this is truly who you are playing with an event that has nothing to do with you anymore. It does not represent your heart space. It does not represent your naturalness. So you are playing with an old carton of milk that has been expired a very long time ago. Well, what happens when we drink that carton of milk? That's well past its expiration date. We're going to feel pretty nasty inside. We're going to get sick. We're going to get ill. Exactly the same thing with these extreme events. Now, the extreme events aren't attempting to pick on you, right? Because they have no external consciousness. other than the meaning that you're putting towards it. You are giving it the imbuement of your consciousness based upon these events. These events are neutral. They are basically just pieces of styrofoam, so to speak, and we're dressing it up. They're a canvas, and we're putting the color on it. So basically, we know that that event has reached its expiration date because I no longer am happy with this. I don't feel I can prosper. I don't feel I can expand. So what do I have to do? I need to spend time and go into reflection. I need to contract myself. And this is what the extreme is teaching you as a teacher. It is a lesson, right? So it's the same thing. If the event leads out to your relationships, if it leads out to finances, if it leads out to career, whatever it is, it's all the same drum. It's all the same beat, right? Doesn't matter what event you're playing with. This is where extremes are being your guide. They are teaching you a lesson. They're trying to tell you, please don't worry anymore about putting all of your energy into an event that you know doesn't serve you. Now, we looked at that in a personal example. Now let's look at that in a collective example. So we have the idea of the extremes on a collective level. And again, it's telling us there's changes in the political arena, there's changes in the financial arena, there's changes sociologically, there's changes education-wise, etc. All of these incredible events are taking place. And again, they're heating up a lot more. And people feel like they're just pulling their hair out of their head, or pulling their head out of their hair. Who knows, whatever way you want to put it. But basically, they're reaching such an uproar within themselves and saying, oh my God, this world has gone frigging insane. I just want to run off this planet. I want to get a jetpack and sail right off this planet. I'm getting so sick of this. That's understandable, granted, right? Sometimes I get caught up in extremes myself. So this is why I say that we are going through extremes, myself included. You know, I'm not saying, hey guys, I'm not going through any extremes. No, I certainly am. But it's all about looking at this in a state of objectiveness and looking in regards to how the extremes are trying to be our teachers and letting us know that on a collective level, oh, you know, the monetary system is so awful right now. You know, I don't who should I vote for in regards to the political campaigns coming up? What should I do with this? What should I do with that? And we're getting all these extremes that get so intense, and it feels like it's a tug of war between ourselves. So when you feel that you have that tug of war between both polarities of yourself, drop the rope, right? It's no longer about the idea of feeling that you have to constantly play this game of extremes. I'm going to vote for the person that I know will bring justice, will bring change, etc. That is nothing more than an illusion. Nobody else can bring you change. It's impossible. Doesn't matter how good they sound. Doesn't matter how amazing they may bring things forward. The only thing that's truly possible is what you can bring to yourself, and being able to align yourself to those particular people of like mind so that you are therefore creating a co-creative community, right? But it has to start with you. So whatever the arena is, whatever the fear may be in regards to these extremes. This can also be with the idea of doomsday prophecy. Oh my goodness, the extremes are coming in now. What happens if an asteroid hits us? What happens if evil alien invaders come down and just want to blow up our planet? What do we do then? Neither of these will take place. Now again, that's a bold statement, saying, Brad, how do you know? How do you know this isn't going to take place? Because if you understand the mechanics of the universe, if you understand our experiment that's going on this planet, these two things will never apply. And that's just a truthful nature of it. Now, why wouldn't an asteroid bombardment come in and hit the Earth and blow us all up? Well, the simple reason is because such extinction level events are last resorts. You have to understand that everything pertaining to Earth is a grand experiment, that we're being watched by many, 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 many different perspectives from on Earth and beyond it. And the idea of an alien invasion, or the idea that evil extraterrestrials are going to come down and dominate us, that's not even close to being on an agenda, because we've had that particular type of influence relating to such forms for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Look into our ancient civilizations that were all influenced by other beings from other worlds. And the fact of ET civilization wanting to come down and fire laser beams at us and blow us all up, no, that's not what's happening. All of these represent last resorts to when a civilization has reached a point where it can no longer redeem itself. And we're not even close to that. So the idea of people feeling that there's going to be a massive megaquake that'll wipe out the continent or wipe out the planet, or there's some gigantic disaster cooking, this is all part of you going back into your personal life and feeling that the event is controlling you. It's all part of you sharing yourself and saying that I'm inviting in my ability to feel powerless. And so I'm going to give in to a vibration that confirms and validates my own feeling to feel powerless. And so I'll subscribe to asteroid collision. I'll subscribe to alien invasion. I'll subscribe to the idea of massive extinction level events happening through Earth changes and wiping millions or billions of people out. You're only giving yourself permission to say that because you see yourself as powerless. You see yourself as being unable to guide yourself through your own reality. And so, when we don't have the strength for us to guide our own path, to create our own world the way that represents our natural self, we subscribe to aspects outside of ourselves that are attempting to clarify our powerlessness from within. And so we have to subscribe to outer events. We have to subscribe to outer heroes, to external people who feel that they're going to come along and take our hand and pull us out of this rut. It's not going to happen. Because you will create certain aspects relating to that, but again, you'll see how that plummets. Because anytime you give your power away to anything, and I want you really to pay attention to this, anytime that you give your power away to anything or anyone, you will be disappointed. You will plummet. And again, extremes will come into your life again and telling you this has reached its expiration date. It's time for you to move away from the out of bounds and come back onto the field of your natural self, the field to allowing yourself to evolve. You serve no purpose by continuing to put so much power into such things that have nothing to do with you and have no alignment to your true natural self of service. You are torturing yourself. You are putting yourself against a brick wall and you are chaining yourself to that wall, and now you're just telling yourself pull, and you're pulling yourself. You're creating all this torment. It's you. It's not the collective consciousness. It's not the idea of bad ETs. It's not the idea of some government. You're dropping your shields, poof, and saying, dominate me. And that's all you're doing. And that's what the extremes are telling you to try to help you to correct yourself. This is the lesson of extremes. So it doesn't matter what you're going through. Relationships, career, finances, family issues, whatever it may be, it's all the same rhythm being beaten on the drum. And again, whatever we put out towards collective, we put that out because we feel that we need to be saved. We feel that somebody just needs to come along, pick our shit up, and go ahead and take care of stuff for us. It's not going to happen. Because as soon as you create that, you will plummet. You will fall. You will deconstruct yourself. But in a way, that's what's necessary. You need to shatter yourselves before you can learn the true way of being aligned to your own nature. So, this means that some people, rather in that sense, all people, will have to plummet, will have to shatter themselves, will need to completely destroy themselves, will in that way, on an energetic level, die and be reborn. This is the concept of resurrection. The idea of resurrection simply is that one has reached a state where they have plummeted, where they have completely deconstructed themselves, where they have reached a point where they have shattered every part of themselves, scattered across the floor, and now they have the willingness to rebuild themselves. They're coming back again. They're starting to reconstruct again, and now they're starting to see their own natural essence. Now they start to see what's happening. What is it that truly serves them? I've certainly gone through these experiences. Not just once, but a couple of times, because we can shatter ourselves on multiple levels, different times, in different places, in different ways. So again, it's very, very important that we just decide to continue to play with these extremes until we're able to shatter ourselves, until we say, nope, I'm no longer going to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and say I'm going to give myself over externally to something that does not harmonize with myself. Well, what is it that we have to do here? What is it in regards to extremes that we need to do? We need to acknowledge them. The only way you're ever going to move past pain and move past fear, move past anguish, is when you accept all of those fundamentals, all of that essence that is attempting to tell you that this is who you are. That's how it's done. That's how it's created. That's how the maneuverability brings you into a whole new scope, how you resurrect yourself. So that's the whole key. So it's very, very important that whatever you're going through, whatever extreme is attempting to visit you personally, whatever particular extreme is attempting to get your attention collectively, look into that aspect and be very, very mindful, be aware of what you feel when you look at that viewpoint, at whatever you're trying to gravitate your power towards. Anything that's taking you away from yourself to feel that, oh my goodness, I'm incapable of doing this. I'm incapable of changing. Remember how powerful you are. Remember how powerful your words are. As soon as you say that you are incapable of doing something, what happens to those people that put that out? They become incapable, because you're feeding your own inadequacies. You're feeding your own particular extremes to get stronger. And all the extremes are doing is saying, oh, okay, you want to take it to the next level? You want me to really frighten you so that I basically scare you back into center? All right, come on, pour the gasoline on. I will frighten you, right? It's exactly what the extremes are doing. And we'll basically just go, ah! And sometimes we'll just stand there and just go, ah! Right? And it's about knowing that that frightening extreme is attempting to say, get the F out of here. Right? In the best way that it can basically say that. Right? Get the hell out of here. I don't want you out of bounds. Move, move, move. Okay, well, I'm going to be a gigantic, scary monster right now. Blah. And it's scaring you to get the hell out of bounds. Right? So that you can come back into your center, right? So it's basically like you're like this, you know, and just standing there when the extreme says, will you get the hell out of my space? Come on, you don't belong here. You need to go. Get out of here. It's exactly what the extreme is attempting to tell you. So pay attention to those extremes. Pay attention to those life lessons, what the lessons are attempting to tell you. And that's what's going to move you back into center, because when we go into those really deep extremes, that's how we shatter. That's how we resurrect ourselves, by noticing the greatest change within ourselves. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Brad Johnson. Feel free to check out realitywhisperer.com for a lot more free videos, courses, sessions, etc. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again next time. Namaste, and may it be well with you. And notice your extremes. Become mindful. Namaste. Take care.